evening. Welcome to the Five Side Podcast. And first and foremost, Matthew Thompson, welcome back.
Hello, I am back.
Also with us, Craig Grigger.
Evening.
Ross Dewar.
Hello.
Last but not least, Billy Kirkpatrick.
Good evening.
It's been a while since we've all sat here and looked at each other.
Aside from Jura.
We are officially the Five
aside
Side
from the normal
Podcast
people
again.
here, yeah. Obviously, we left you last week before the midweek Premier Sports Cup matches. Was it Wednesday night? Dundee took on St Johnstone and Rangers took on Livingston. Us sensible folk obviously saw the result happening in Dundee, and it was at St Johnstone 2, Dundee 0.
Yeah.
What have you got to say for yourself, Billy and Craig?
You picked Dundee to win.
No, we both picked a draw. None of us predicted Dundee to win.
Nah,
That was silly.
No, I picked the most boring 0-0, and for 70 minutes I was right. It was 0-0, but then obviously, the Dundee players had obviously other things on their mind for the first goal, and after it decided
St Johnstone just have that
to take
extra
matters
edge.
into their own
St
hands.
Johnstone are a better team.
They're a cup team.
They're a cup team as well.
That's
and
all they are.
Yeah.
They just had that extra edge. A bit
That's
more
all-
quality that Dundee can't seem to find because they've got nonsense up top.
It's true. Two of them. I don't know who the second one is, but two of them.
I was about to say. Yeah, that's
Jason
rather-
Jason Cummings calls himself Cum Dog, so
Yeah.
Yeah, that's close enough.
just assume.
Yeah.
Jason, if you're listening to this, that's not the view of the podcast.
Yeah, let's not fall into libelous territory
Allegedly.
here.
Allegedly calls himself Cundog.
We'll be banned from Dens Park.
No, what a shame.
Just
no,
us and
what-
Chris Boyd will be sitting
what will I
outside.
do?
What will I do?
I've never been to Dens Park, actually. I've been to Tannadice, but I've never been to Dens Park.
Dens Park's got that stupid stand that's bent in the middle. Why would you have that?
Well,
I don't know.
the last time I was at Dens Park, I watched a great performance by Ayr.
Was it great?
I must not have been to any of the Dundee games when they got relegated. But yeah, it was in the cup, and the Dundee
This man what
collapsed when they had
in the cup.
Ayr won 3-0, and that was the good old times with Shankland. Miss him.
He owned Dundee.
He did
Don't
own the
cry.
city of Dundee so much that he had to move to one of the teams.
Yeah. And can't score.
Now he can't score now. Yeah.
Where we go, miss?
But
Where are we
anyway,
going with this? I don't know.
We're going on to the next cup game. Because no one really cared about that first one.
Yeah, no one really cared.
well, the next cup game, I'd like to, just before we talk about it, I'd like to propose an investigation into potential match fixing,
Right, okay.
because the goals that were given away were
Obviously,
I
yes.
don't know what the hell was going on.
Next up is Rangers Livingston, and a win for Rangers 2-0 over Livingston at home.
Livy failing to have a single shot throughout the entire game. I think that's all it really needs to be said. Rangers kind of a wee bit lacklustre at points, but when the ball gets passed to you, when past you, it's a 1-on-1 at Morelos has got a good chance.
Livingston just go, here you go,
Not a shot.
have two goals.
No, not a single shot.
They were closer to having a shot in their own goal, Matt, than they were in the opposition goal.
I don't understand though. Surely by that
Um,
point, like you get the ball 30 yards out, you just hit it.
Yeah.
Just
Obviously, what's it called? Scott Wright had an absolute stinker in the first half. Was taken off to bring on Yanis Hadji.
Here we go.
And 3 minutes later, he got the goal. A very sublime pass.
The Ross
must be
Dewar
said.
Yanis Hadji love story here. Honestly.
I did read that apparently after Yanis Hadji was done with COVID,
Done with COVID. they get done with COVID.
Yeah, I mean he recovered.
The police were like, "Nah, mate,
thankfully.
COVID for you."
He what's it called? Bought himself a ride in a private plane to get back to Glasgow.
So he got in a private plane and then pumped someone. It was pretty cool. Joined the Mile High Club.
Yeah, he got a private plane from the Tony Macaroni.
He did.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why I was.
It was
why I was in Livingston.
I don't know.
Yeah.
When the game was in
Trying to find
Glasgow,
Livingston players.
But we can also can I just point out that it's not like Livingston got like dominated 90% possession to 10. Like they still had about 40% possession of the ball and couldn't hit a shot.
I mean, I watched obviously all the game. And I can't really remember them like even remotely being like close to creating any chances.
Yeah.
Strange. I still stand by. You just start hitting shots from everywhere at that point.
That's
I
what
guess
I
at
do.
20 minutes left.
I'd just be hitting them from everywhere. I think everyone sort of expected Rangers to win that. I don't think many people were sitting there going, yeah, Livingston could pull something out the bag here.
Apart from
And
that, he was
he's
too
not-
scared to protect the game.
That's true.
But did I
Is
not
it
get that
like-
one in?
No, he didn't get that or the Dundee game in time.
I did
Oh,
not.
when did I get the day after?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Livingston they've not had the best start to the league. I think they're sitting bottom half.
Well, yeah, they had
They
1
are.
point in
Four
another game against
points
Celtic.
off 7 games.
So it must be close to us.
1 win. So I don't think Rangers probably should have scored more against a poor Livingston side, but I think it's
It got to about the 70th minute, and I don't know. Obviously, the subs, and it just kind of became just a lackluster pass the ball between the
I think
midfield.
it seems to be kind of a recurring theme that Rangers they're getting results, fair enough, but they are a bit sort of slow and
It's almost as if they seem to be holding. This might sound a bit silly, but holding back at points. I don't know if they're like thinking of what. Well, obviously, the game at the weekend there, if they were just decided to bring on some subs and try mix it up and just
Yeah.
hold back, like they never really done anything after all the subs came on. You thought, oh, bring on a couple of attacking players, get some debuts and whatnot, and nothing
Because
really
you're bang
happened.
average. We're just worse
Telling
than
you,
bang
it is
average.
Motherwell's league to lose. Someone tell me otherwise.
Tony Watt is driving them.
Stephen
to the title.
O'Donnell is captaining Motherwell to the league. He's going to shush all his haters when he lifts the cup.
No, fair enough. I'd love it.
anyway. Thursday night, Celtic played host to Wraith, the last non-Premiership side left in the competition. And I think everyone expected Celtic to win, yes. Probably most of us expected Celtic to win by more, but
Yeah,
I didn't.
not my,
so,
my
well,
guy,
so,
exactly.
sometimes things just don't happen like that. A relatively quick start from Celtic. 25 minutes before Jota opened the scoring. Actually, a really nice move from Celtic. Good passing, and then James McCarthy actually decided that he knew how to play a pass. Played a really nice through ball through to Jota, who just came away from his man and knocked it home.
Yeah.
Although it was like it's only Wraith, as you'd say. I think Jota was like quite impressive. I thought for me. He's only played a few games since he's arrived.
He's really
But
fast.
yeah, he's every game since he's arrived. He's like started and he's played 90 minutes and just looked really exciting. I know he's not scored many. Like I think he's only scored the one goal so far, but just I don't know. It's something different to have, a different option.
His final ball, or not even just final ball, he's like that's my only worry is like his distribution once he gets near the box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one thing I'd say could be better.
Yeah,
He's got a lot of pace and like
He's
he
good
likes
in
a wee
the ball.
trick. Likes a wee trick. He's very good on the ball. And I imagine with a better striker up top that's not Albion Ayeti, some of his balls, like the game against Dundee United at the weekend, some of his balls like into the box and stuff are actually quite good, but Ayeti's nowhere near making the right runs for the balls. He's hopeless. But let's not get bogged down on Ayeti. Second goal just before half time was Leila Bada. There's another man, he's made a flying start in his Celtic career. Only 19 as well, and people like the performances that he's sort of putting in are quite thingy.
no, he looks good. He's he's probably what looks to be the better of the signings so far.
Yeah, him and Kyogo have been
Yeah, obviously Kyogo.
quite good impacts.
I've liked the look of Abada so far anyway.
He's quick. I think I seen someone saying on Twitter the other day that it was frustrating, but like you can't expect week in week out the same performance from a 19-year-old.
I was say he's still young, so you'll have a bit of inconsistency, but overall he's been good.
It does sound a bit
He's
like
not played
James
at a-
Forrest, quick but inconsistent.
Yeah,
He's not played at a significantly high level until now, so he'll get experience and hopefully he can kick on because he does look very exciting.
Yeah.
And he does that sort of the right thing as a winger should, like when the opposite winger has the ball down to the byline, he comes inside instead of staying out wide. So he'll make a charge into back post.
Mhm.
And that's where he's found the goal. Crikey. It's up my throat. Half time came in after half time. 2-0 up at half time, you expect come out, score another couple at least. It was a bit of a slow day at the office after that. David Turnbull scored right after half time, and that was it.
He only scores against men's teams.
He doesn't. He's only. Yeah.
That's literally the David Turnbull elbow.
But I think he's played.
Size he'll score against them.
I think David Turnbull's played like 50 games for Celtic now.
Something like that, yeah.
Which is. It should be more because when he was signed at the start of last season, he should have been playing. He should have been in and about that team sooner.
It wouldn't have mattered, to be fair, but yeah.
Next thing's for him is to get a Scotland cap.
Nah.
Nah, you don't want him to play for
Nah, I
Scotland.
do, but he won't.
No, he won't. But it's the next step for him.
Tough
True.
ask for him in our strongest position. Well, I don't know,
True.
either that or left back's our strongest position, so
True.
it's a tough ask for him to try and get a spot
I
there.
reckon he could play right back.
Could play right back, yeah. Centre half,
Yep.
maybe.
Yeah. Is Hanley available? Is he called up?
He is called up, but he's suspended for the Israel game.
Oh, that's right. He got suspended, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I wouldn't get my favourite player.
Obviously, I expected to see a couple of debuts on Thursday night. We did see Liam Scales. He came on in the second half. But the arrival of Georgios Giacomakis will be delayed even further as he picked up a knock in the warm-up.
it's a good job that you've just signed a hospital bed.
It's really good that we've signed two strikers who look well. We've actually seen Kyogo play. We know he can play, and obviously he's injured. And we've just signed another striker who looks half decent. He was top goal scorer last season, and he's injured in the warm up. But by all reports, it's not anything too serious, and he should be up for contention soon.
Yeah. We're stuck with a Yeti until then.
I actually forgot that Dario Zanata got himself sent off in the short space of 5 minutes on Thursday night as well.
He did. Two
He
quick
was, he
bookings.
was booked. He was booked very quickly, one after the other. But yeah, Celtic didn't capitalise on the fact that they had less men either.
I don't think it mattered at that point. You
Nah,
started
the game was won. So
Yeah.
we'll allow them that one, but
They knew I needed the 5 points.
that's true. Yeah,
It's true, they had to rest up for that big game in the weekend as well that hopefully could win.
I think it's just kind of like Rangers at the moment that Celtic sort of lack that urgency and sort of cutting edge, really.
Quality.
At least Rangers are winning games.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like I think I said the other day that Rangers have been getting results, whereas Celtic just. I mean, they were earlier on in the season. They looked very like sharp and scored lots of goals at home, but kind of since then it's been. Since the international break, it's been a bit sort of.
Yeah.
I think the style doesn't suit every Celtic player currently. There's that sort of free flow, and you're going to go and beat a team 5-6-0. Doesn't really suit guys who
Aren't good enough.
like that. Yeah, I would generally say probably not good enough. Like if you want that sort of style of play, like you bring in
to like start like first team starting players, it does seem to be a bit flat. So Cal McGregor's a massive miss in midfield. There's no one else that does it like him in the team.
Yeah. As soon as you have to play either McCarthy or Sorrow, then that's you're screwed.
Like Sorrow just when he played when he came into his team last season, everyone was like, "Oh, Sorrow's really good." But I think that's just because we've been watching Scott Brown.
Also, the one thing about Sorrow is he looks like he's trying hard.
He does.
It looks like he's trying really hard
because he does just run about,
but he's not doing the right things.
No, but he's trying.
He runs about a lot.
James McCarthy is a decent player, but he's really not kicked the ball for Celtic. He can't seem to pass the ball. He looks a bit lost in the midfield. I don't know.
Yeah,
it seems to happen to quite a lot of these Premier League players that come up to Scotland.
It's not ideal having your two centre mid options being players whose only fault is they can't pass.
Yeah,
That really is, for a centre mid, that really is a problem.
Well, especially when they go to replace Callum McGregor, because Callum McGregor, he comes deep, takes the ball, turns around, passes it out to a winger, or like up to like one of the other midfielders or a striker. Mm-hmm. Whereas Sorrow comes deep, takes the ball, and then passes it back to the centre half.
Did you not see? Speaking of those who can pass, Joe Hart is the league's best passer.
And everyone was questioning whether he'd fit into Angie's system because he's not good with the ball at his feet. But
chuck him in at
centre mid. He's been fine with the ball at his feet.
Oh, you're waiting for McGregor to get back. Chuck him in at centre mid and just play.
You know what? We
Scott
should
Bain again.
Play Nolan in nets. Fuck Scott Bain. Yeah, I could go on about Celtic all night, but we need to.
But no one wants that.
We need to sort our shit out in the next few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we don't pick any more injuries on top of what we've already got, because the medical centre is getting quite full at Celtic.
So what you're saying is we can expect Callum McGregor to get pulled out of the Scotland squad?
I think
no, because the way he's been talking, I think he should be back for Thursday night.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether that's in a starting capacity, but
if not Thursday, then definitely.
But I have seen a lot of Celtic fans absolutely raging he's been called up because none of their players should be going on international duty because they'll just get injured.
No, but it's sort of like it's going to happen. The Celtic have gone from Neil Lennon, who let them have 4 days off after beating Hamilton, to Ange, who's probably got them in training every day. Quite high intensity, high running sort of training, and then the play style in the matches as well is very high intensity. So injuries are to be expected in this sort of transitional phase, but it's not ideal. But hopefully, as it goes on in fitness and sharpness sort of improves, then it gets better. Mm-hmm. Anyway, next up, Dundee United welcomed Hibs in their bid to get to the semi-final, and well, they failed. That's both Dundee teams beaten at home. Hibs 3-1 winners in the end.
I don't think anyone was that surprised, surely.
No, it was a very quick start from Hibs. 3 minutes in, they scored, and they just looked better than Dundee United from the start. All the Hibs goals coming in the first half.
Just get the game over with.
Yeah, get the game over with. Sort of just had that cutting edge. Dundee United started a comeback in the second half, but it was not to be. With only one goal being scored in the second half, and Hibs put their name in the pot for the next round.
Congratulations!
Congratulations, exactly.
Hibs did have their standard Martin Boyle penalty, which they seem to be getting every game right now, which is good.
Taking over from the James Tavernier penalty.
Yeah.
But they started well in the league as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
1 point behind after 7 games.
Undefeated.
Yep, looking quite clinical.
If the likes of your Hibs, Hearts, even put Motherwell in there, if they can keep up and keep putting performances in, then it could be an interesting league throughout the.
It's an interesting fight for second.
It seems that quite often
they'll start well and
these
then drop
teams
off.
Start well and they can't seem to carry it past sort of Christmas consistently. Also, like Hibs will still get decent results throughout the season, but like in years past, it's been the same. You're expecting Hibs to sort of pull away from, well, Aberdeen, really, like Hibs, for that third place.
Hibs are definitely,
and they make it harder for themselves.
Yeah, they're definitely the best of the rest. I mean, don't get me wrong, Celtic are having a bit of a tough time. I still think they'll finish second. Although at this point I'm not that sure. But like in the way that Aberdeen managed to pip Rangers to second place a few years ago, I wouldn't be that surprised.
It wouldn't surprise me, but
if there was going to be a team that would get into that second place position, I think it would definitely be Hibs this year.
I don't think there's any Celtic fans that were expecting Celtic to win this league.
Oh, there'll be some.
Well, yeah. Evidently, after the weekend, people knee-jerk reaction sort of thing. Celtic are in a like I said earlier, transitional period.
The thing is, though, there is only so bad you're allowed to get during a transitional period.
Dundee United at home is one of those games where you should be winning.
Or Dundee, or Livingston.
Or Livingston away. We can't seem to go to Livingston away. So
no, true.
But you still have to be winning that game. That's it.
Yeah. Well, we've been saying that for seasons that we have to be winning that game.
Yeah.
But we've not won it yet.
And it would be an interesting season for one of the big two to get pipped to second, with the automatic Champions League group stage, obviously.
True. Yeah.
No. I think that's brilliant. No, get Hibs in.
Yeah.
It.
No, I think it has to be Motherwell so you can play Barcelona.
Tony Watt.
Tony
Watt.
Watt.
Was a game against Barcelona.
Tony Watt.
That's true.
Bloody Tony Watt.
I'd love to see Barcelona come to Firhill. Not Firhill.
The draw was made immediately after
the
after the 2 games on Thursday night, and pulled out the hat was Rangers against Hibernian. Drew, how you feeling about that draw?
Yeah, not too bad. I think it was probably the hardest team to get, but it's gonna be interesting.
Just tell Drew's got a big grin in his face right now saying that one.
Doesn't he?
No, obviously they're a team on form. Like, we don't want to play like sick for a team like that. Like Diddy team, we're playing second.
Well, Drew has consistently said throughout this week that his Rangers Cup to lose Which, fair enough, they should be
Yeah,
the cup winning it.
I
Team
stand.
winning it, they're
I
probably
stand by
favourites.
it.
See, to be fair though, Drew, I don't know if you could say that about a team that have made one final in the last
Yeah.
3 seasons
Mm-hmm.
cup
I
competitions.
still, considering it's probably you're probably saying it's the four of the best teams in Scotland left in it. St Johnson
3 of the best teams in Celtic.
St Johnson obviously not been the best league team, but it's a cup for him. So,
Mhm.
It's gonna be a good two
yeah, it'd be good to see
semi-finals and final for
the
sure.
Hibs St Johnson final in the end. To be fair,
I agree.
Yeah, obviously Celtics and Johnson another semi-final, and that fixture got announced today, this evening.
When is it? When are they? Do you know the
November
dates?
time.
Saturday the 20th of November.
The weekend of the
Saturday the 20th of November. It's like a 5:15 kick-off, the Celtic game. Yep,
Very good.
5:15 kick-off. It's going to be cold.
So it was cold this morning.
It was cold this morning.
Oh, I had to put a jumper on to go to work.
I think it's more. It is. I like when these semi-finals are a bit later on in the day. I think just, I don't know, a bit more excitement about it. When it's a bit darker, the floodlights are on. It's
Yeah,
probably going to rain.
I'll actually get to watch some of it.
Matt will get to watch some
At
of it.
Hampden.
Second half.
Yep. Obviously, the draw was rigged, so they can hope for their Celtic Rangers final. But
well,
That's
like
the
Craig said, it was St Johnson Hibs.
We can only hope.
We can only hope.
Obviously, last. Sorry, I was gonna make a error, but I've changed my mind.
that's a good one there.
I had a bid to break down halfway through my
Pure
sentence.
malfunction here.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the league, and we had Motherwell Ross County. Motherwell continuing their decent form, their good form. 2-1 winners at home to Ross County.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really expect it at the start of the season Motherwell to be doing as well as they're doing.
No, neither. But
They're not a bad side.
They're not a terrible
They lost
side,
some
but
key
I didn't
players,
expect
so
them
that's
to
the
be.
They'll be
Yeah,
like
uh-huh.
5th to 7th this year, I think. So like,
Yeah,
kind of-
Motherwell's that team where I don't expect them to continue their form very much longer.
nah, they'll finish 5th or 7th, maybe 6th.
Do we play them anytime soon?
We play Aberdeen, so that's Aberdeen's first one in about a year.
is that battle for top
Oh,
six?
we do play Aberdeen then Motherwell.
As Aberdeen and Motherwell, so that's 2 losses.
As our next 2 games.
That could be not ideal for Celtic, those 2 games.
None
Both
of the
away,
games are ideal for Celtic.
No,
Any
you
of
want to
them
play
away?
like Dundee every week, man.
What one's away?
They're both away.
Oh, there you go. That's even worse.
Aberdeen this weekend and then Motherwell after the international break.
Tawdry then Firhill.
So Motherwell after McGregor is re-injured.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we do have a tough set of fixtures, our next 5 in the league. Away to Aberdeen, away to Motherwell, home to St Johnson, away to Hibs, and home to Livingston.
I know a lot of Celtic fans were saying that they had the hardest run so far, but they have played like newly promoted sides already.
The thing is,
hardest
there's
run.
the same teams that we play every single year in a slightly different order. Like,
Yeah.
You know what to expect.
And-
Like
are we counting Aberdeen as a tough one? I mean, they're probably going to beat us, but do they count?
Away from home, it is always tough at Pataudry, I'd say, because
Not
I
bad.
mean it's always windy or rainy or both. It's a shit stadium. It's a shit city. Is there anything else shit? Drew got lost in Aberdeen that one time.
That team.
Well, yeah,
Not
Aberdeen are one they started relatively well this season,
Yes, I think Glasses and
and they've kind of
Wait,
not fallen. They've not fallen apart, but they're not performing great since I don't know, the last few games.
I would say they're falling apart.
I wouldn't
be
call it. I
honest.
wouldn't call it a complete falling apart yet, but
It's
their
collapse.
form is collapsed.
I've seen
When did they
a lot of
win
Aberdeen fans saying that it's still the right decision for them to get rid of McInnes when they did, though, because they were still going down this hole with him.
I think they had to get rid of McInnes earlier
Yeah,
than they did, in my opinion.
They haven't won a domestic game since the 8th of August.
Yeah, that's like
It's the 28th of September.
yeah, But like just the way they were playing, like
Jesus.
like in their first
first few
Two
games.
games.
Their
first couple of games they looked half decent against away to like Livingston's
and their European
tough,
games and stuff like that.
and their European games they looked half decent as well. But sort of since then, since they went out to Carrierbag,
Everything's really they lost to Wraith in the League Cup.
oh that
That has been a
came
downfall.
before that, didn't it? I don't know. Like at the weekend, away to St Mirren, losing 3-2. Yeah,
Mirren, though.
I don't like. It's how much longer can you give
I don't know.
like a new manager at Aberdeen?
Consistently losing more games, not many. I don't think.
Yeah, but I don't know who they bring in right now. I don't like it.
Jim,
Well, that's the thing. Who's
McInnes is interested.
Neil Lennon.
They actually could go for Neil Lennon.
I genuinely think they might go for Neil Lennon. Maybe. Who else?
I feel that is one where they'll be like, "Hey, Scott Brown, Neil Lennon a decent manager for Aberdeen." And Scott Brown will just he'll do that look like that look where Scott Brown he'll just stare at them.
That just makes Scott Brown the player manager.
Scott Brown, player manager. I like it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Scott Brown said
it scored, Matt. I don't know why you've seen the highlights.
I haven't seen it though.
Scott.
It was a wonder goal, to be fair.
Scott Brown said
Yeah.
positive things about Stephen Glass.
Well, it kind of just like someone else shot, man. It bounced off him and went in.
I think that's
To be fair, it was a bullet.
Scott Brown said positive things about Stephen Glass, but
Yeah,
if they can't
I think you got to. I think you can-
translate good training sessions and sort of good atmosphere around the club into winning games, then I don't know how they're going to get on. Arbroath Kelly predicted as a
Snooze fest.
well, no, but we didn't predict it as a snooze fest. Drew thought it was going to be a goal fest.
I thought.
Jared
I thought
predicted
Kelly-
the 3-0 Kelly win, but
I thought Kelly would win it. Arbroath have been decent.
you didn't think Kelly would win it, Matt. You picked a one at one each, so you didn't.
Yeah, no, I picked a one each. My predictions were literally pull like rabbit a hat. Like, it was
Literally, yeah, he's literally Matt's just typed numbers and went, "Yep, there you go."
numbers. I've hit some numbers.
It's a good result for Arbroath. Keeps them in,
That is-
if you can call them in the title race as such. But
Well,
they're
keeps
definitely in
up
the race for top
their
4.
good start.
Yeah.
Keeps up their good start.
I mean, sorry.
Yeah, Kelly probably favourites to win the league now.
No, I think Kelly will probably be the bookies' favourite, but I think Inverness will win it.
I still think Kelly will win it, but it's between two, probably.
Yeah, and,
Yeah, Aidan and Inverness. Good choice.
Aaron and Inverness.
and we'll ignore what me and Craig predicted at the
Dirty
start of the season.
ball.
What did you predict at the start of the season?
Dunfermline to
Oh,
win
we
the
don't-
league.
no, we
No,
don't
we
talk
didn't do that.
Dunfermline to win the
Dunfermline
league.
to get relegated. That's what we predicted.
We both said explicitly
Not win,
Dunfermline get
Yeah, we
relegated.
said
like top 4.
no.
They're not
Dunfermline
winning.
relegated. That's what we said. Good job being Fergus on the ball.
Where are we? League One, Cove Rangers. They got a win eventually.
They did get a win.
They were due it. They need to sort of mount a challenge on this.
Well, you say that, but they are only 2 points behind first, so it's not like they're miles behind.
Yeah, I mean they're not miles behind, but
I mean from first down to eighth in that league, it's 5 points.
yeah, last season I expected them to win the league.
Yeah, it does look like quite a close league. That League One could be quite an interesting one.
Yeah, fair play to Queen's Park coming up and starting very nicely.
Big money ball.
Yep. They've got their man back as well, so they re-signed Luca Connell on loan. And immediate impact came off the bench against Peterhead at the weekend and scored within 10 minutes. What a player!
Well done, Luca.
Well done, Luca. Anyway, Kelty Hearts again, as expected, beating Stranraer.
I mean,
beating Stranraer.
We made fun of you for only putting 1-0, and he got it back one, didn't he?
But you can't. That's not our fault. You can't blame us for expecting them to score more against Stranraer. We'd score more against Stranraer.
Especially when it's...
There's a reason I'm top of the leaderboard, Craig.
The reason being that I haven't submitted half my scores.
The reason being luck.
But you're only 7 behind Ferg.
Ferg's useless.
But Kelty Hearts probably going to walk that league. Already 4 points ahead after 8 games.
Yeah.
So. Good start from them, and they'll probably continue. Well done, Craig, on the lowest prediction score of the game week.
That's it, mate. Fun of my prediction scores when you're...
You got 10.
You suck.
That's not
That was it. Yeah, but I've caught him up by 3 points now. So.
He's only 6 behind me.
Predictions for this week. So that's another Europa League week.
Great tune.
Thanks.
The tune we all prefer, not the Champions League
Thursday
one.
night for Celtic and Rangers. Celtic at home to Bayer Leverkusen. Yeah. Craig.
3-1 Bayer Leverkusen.
Well, Leverkusen, I think, will absolutely destroy Celtic. This will be a murder. There'll be a murder in Glasgow, and Celtic will die another day, and they will lose 4-0.
Yogi.
I'm going to say, although they've lost a few players, I still think they've got quality. 3-0 to Bayer Leverkusen.
Now, Matt,
Can someone start putting the
I was
scores
about
right
to say. Someone is predicting heavy wins for Celtic the way they're typing these scores out.
I think...
Matt, you're a Celtic fan, I'll just remind you. You've got to try and be positive here.
1-1.
1-1.
1-1.
Well, have I got that one the wrong way around here?
Are you hoping for this
Probably.
agent Jeremy Frimpong, yeah?
Agent Jeremy Frimpong's going to score 3 own goals. 3-1 Celtic.
1 own goal. I'll do it.
No, he's scoring a hat-trick of own goals. Nah, I'm going to do... you know what?
Do it.
I've got to be positive. Got to be positive. So, 2-1 Celtic. Rangers travel, and they're away to Sparta Prague. Greg Krager.
I think they're going to do better in Sparta
Craig.
than Celtic did, but I do think they will struggle, and it'll be 2 each.
We couldn't do any worse.
That's
to be
true. They
fair.
couldn't do any worse.
Well, Rangers won't want the sky to fall on their Europa League campaign, and Sparta will be out to have a license to kill to try and beat Rangers. And for my eyes only, I think Sparta will win 1-0.
Jesus.
I'm going to go the other way, and I'm going to say Rangers will win 1-0.
I'm going to go with 1 each.
4-1 Sparta.
Wonder why you picked that.
Next up,
And the electricians
next
are
up,
playing.
big game, dress rehearsal for the cup, and it's Rangers at Hibs. Rangers at Hibs. Rangers v Hibs. Hibs at Rangers.
Yeah, we are quite lucky this weekend to have the top 4 playing each other, so could be some interesting results. It's going to start with a 3-2 Hibs victory.
Well, Ibrox, you could describe that as a view to kill, with Hibs coming from not Russia with love, but Edinburgh with love. And I would say I'm going to go for a Billy special here. I'm going to go with a score draw, 1-1.
Obviously, it's been a long time. It's been a long time since Rangers have lost a game at Ibrox, and I don't think it will be Saturday. 1-0 Rangers.
I'll go 2
I hope it's not a Saturday because they played Sunday.
What are you saying,
Aye, that's
Matt?
why I won't lose.
2
That's why it
0
won't happen
2-0
Saturday.
to Rangers.
A two each, a thrilling draw. Two each. Hearts Motherwell. Craig.
A score draw 1-0.
Tough one.
2-1 to Hearts.
Yeah, I'm going to echo Billy's score and also say 2-1 to Hearts.
Oh, yes, we get 5 points.
I'm
Brilliant.
going to go with 1-0 to Hearts. I think Hearts won.
I'm going 1-0 Motherwell. No one's stopping this Motherwell team.
They're not bad. I still think Hearts are better.
We're championship bound now, and it is Partick Ayr.
Well, after the speed bump at the weekend, the Duffy Ball train will be back in full flow with a 3-0 victory against Partick.
No, I'm sorry to say, I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
He's saying no, but is he seen Partick this season?
I'm going to go with a score draw 1-1.
I'm sorry to burst Craig's bubble, but I'm top of the points this season. So 1-0 to Partick.
I'm sure if we went on based on the championship results, you wouldn't be top. So
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna actually have to agree with you. I think 1-0.
Yep, Partick have been particularly poor to the start of this season. Obviously, Ayr were also particularly poor, but they've got rid of their manager, and Partick will continue their bad form, and they'll lose 3-1. League favourites Kelly welcome Wraith
in a game which they will draw 0-0.
It's going 2-0
Well, it's a good job the vaccine passport system's not in place yet because the big ad is predicted a big crowd for this game, over 10,000. I think the home fans will be going back to the pubs. Will come on in the joyous mood. 2-0 to the whatever you call Kelly these days. I don't know, Kelly.
The Kelly.
Kilmarnock Football Club.
2-0 to Colonel Sanders and his KFC team. Yep,
I'll do.
Whatever. Sure.
Just gotta let him say that. I'm gonna go 2-0 to Kilmarnock as well.
I don't want to sound like I'm copying Drew, so I'm gonna go 2-1 to Kilmarnock.
Well, now it sounds like I'm copying Matt, but I'd already typed in 2-1.
Yeah.
Well, it seems you all don't understand. Kelly aren't that good, so there we go.
No, but neither are Wraith.
No, the class.
Another league down, Queen's Park, Montrose.
Well, I have just noted that it went away win, draw, away win, draw, away win, draw, but I'm not going to follow that pattern because I think Queen's Park will win this one with a scoreline of 2-1.
I'm going to go for Queen's Park 4, Montrose 2.
Jesus.
Goalfest.
I'm gonna go score draw 1-0.
2-0 Queen's Park.
Well, no, me, Queen's Park super fan. 3-0 Queen's Park. Luke O'Connell hat trick. Elgin Sterling in the last game for this week.
I'll be going for score draw 1-0.
I'm going to go for Elgin 1, Stirling Albion 2.
I'm gonna go Elgin 2, Stirling Albion 1.
0-0.
One each score draw, the Billy Kirkpatrick special. Yeah, rounds us off nicely. One final thing, Scotland squad. Feels like it's only been like a week since the last one, but Scotland squad was announced today. Couple changes to it. Scott McTominay's back in.
Armstrong
back in.
Armstrong back in, and
Taylor out.
Xander Clark's
out
been
for
replaced by McLaughlin.
Yeah.
Taylor's out also with his injury.
More or less. I thought Greg Taylor couldn't get dropped, but There you have it.
Well, I mean, it's quite hard to call up someone who's out with a long-term injury.
I know, but
No,
I
he
think
could.
find a way.
I mean,
If O'Donnell retired, he'd get called up. It wouldn't matter.
I'm not gonna lie, Fred. Greg Taylor just gets called up to sit in the bench, so I'm sure you could call him up.
Well, that's actually true. If we really
Just
wanted
sit
to,
there.
we could call Greg Taylor up.
A token.
Honestly, not really any surprises. Steve Clark's found his men. He's going to keep calling his men up.
Yeah.
He doesn't like making changes.
I wouldn't have minded seeing perhaps Suter or Gold or someone else
I think we just need
like
we
being
need to
part of
we
the
need,
squad. But apart
we
from
need to
that,
get
you can't
over we
really
need to get
complain.
over Gold. We're not going to see him in a squad.
Not the problem with Gold right now is the troubles he has getting over because he plays in Canada. So with
Yeah.
coronavirus protocols and stuff, it is hard for him. So I don't know whether
Yeah.
that's a case for it just now or not, but
It probably just takes him even out of consideration.
yeah.
More
So
than anything
Yeah, I
else.
don't
once
I
things
don't
settle a
see
bit,
him.
we might get to see him a wee bit. I don't know.
Maybe, but
I know a few folk were talking
he
about
should have been
Liam
called up
Henderson.
last year, but he hasn't been. So
The problem with Gold is he does play in our strongest position. Well, you can play him up front as a striker, but
You can kind of play wherever across the front, could you not?
yeah, I guess
If you
Yeah.
needed to.
it's the same.
I guess for a formation, we don't play wingers.
I heard you say they're
usually.
Liam Henderson for, but it's the same situation where he plays in that midfield position.
yeah, and
I mean, we're Scotland. We've got about 15 quality
15
midfielders,
quality
and that's it.
midfielders, a couple of quality left backs, and
it's like the only way we're going to see Aaron Hickey in the squad is if there's an injury.
or if he plays on the right side, which he can do. He is known
Yeah.
to be able to play on the
Yeah,
right
but we've
side.
got Stephen O'Donnell. Why
That's
would
true.
anyone else play?
Yeah, we've got Stephen O'Donnell. And
O'Donnell-
obviously Steve Clark's new man, Nathan Patterson.
Let's
he's
see the
called
new
up
man that
again,
can't
even though
get
he's
dropped.
played- Yeah, the new man that can't get dropped, but he's only played once since the last international break.
I mean,
and
he played quite well in the
his
Scotland game.
justification for not picking Anthony Ralston last time was because he hadn't put a long enough run of games together in the Celtic team. But Nathan Patterson's played 4 times this
But
season.
he's not
for
salty,
Rangers.
Ferg, is he? No, Ferg's not salty.
No, I'm
Definitely
not.
not
I'm
salty
not
about
salty. Just
Hey, you obviously want your best
yeah, but
players
you want
to
players
be
that
there.
have played to
and-
be there.
Yeah, my problem is the fact that like he's apparently like what Rangers' third choice right back or something.
At the moment, yeah.
Well, second choice.
Well, who's second choice, mate? Surely he's second choice, mate. There's
Well,
only
no,
got
that
two right backs.
thing was played over him.
Yeah,
What?
I bet.
What
Who?
that thing be?
What's his face? I don't.
You mean the one that played the old firm
I
game,
don't know.
The one
Balogun?
that played
Their
because
names.
Patterson was out. That one.
Well, that's Patterson's fault.
Good part.
Second choice, whatever. But it doesn't get game time, which is concerning for the development of his career.
Well,
This is a message to Steve Gerrard. I'm watching you now, pal. And if you don't start bucking up your ideas here, me and you're gonna have problems. All right? This guy's a generational talent, and you're
you have the
wasting
big
him.
man Billy at the door.
Message out.
Could someone collect a da, please?
Yeah.
He's got beetroot as well. Anyway,
Popped about 4 blood vessels in his head doing that message.
don't think there was many surprises in the Scotland squad. But yeah, Steve, call up good right backs, please.
Scotland, could you make good right backs,
I
please?
should say.
Yeah,
Someone find
just
a
a
good
general
right back.
Scottish
Oh,
people.
right.
If you think,
I mean, Ryan Jack's going to be back soon,
if
Matt.
you think you can play right back, please write us a letter.
Like I'll give that a go.
Can we do like an X Factor
right
style
backs.
show?
What one category for the over 25s?
the RB Factor.
No, could it be more like the Voice format,
I was just gonna
where
say,
the Scotland coaching team have their backs turned to the player and they come out on stage, do some
and they just-
shows them some
we have
stuff,
to guess.
and then they're like,
I'm
and they have to
not-
guess, and they have to be like,
Turn
oh, this guy sounds really good. Turn around.
why are we not going with the obvious alternative, which is instead of Wayne Rooney's street striker, we've got Stephen O'Donnell's street right back?
Yes, please.
Do you think BBC Scotland will commission that? I'm
I
not
think
sure.
I think they should.
Well, the BBC have commissioned a documentary about Jimmy Savile, so
Exactly.
they'll do anything.
More stuff.
What is it like a documentary with actors in it? Oh, imagine having to play him.
I think a lot.
Steve Coogan is playing
Oh
him.
God,
Well, we're not the Jimmy
poor
Savile
man.
podcast here, so let's not get into it.
No,
No, we're also not the BBC podcast. Fuck the BBC.
fuck the BBC. I don't know why. Fuck the BBC.
No one likes the BBC.
No, that's true.
Not even, I don't even think the BBC like the BBC, etc. I think that's absolutely plenty.
Mhm.
We'll be back. We'll be back in a week
We also.
before the
For
Come
this, the,
international
there
break.
we go. You got it.
Israel game.
There
this
we
weekend.
go.
The Israel
What a
game
guy.
that happened a couple of months ago, did it not? And then a couple
Yeah.
of months before that.
Yeah, and a couple of months before
Yeah,
that, and
a
a couple
few
of
months
months
before that as well.
It's a
But
quarter.
it's just over a week now. So
But good news, the Nations League draw's coming up again.
We could. We've
get
not played
Israel.
them in a while, to be fair. So hopefully,
fuck me.
That's a great thing about the Nations League. You can get new
Well,
opponents all the
I-
time.
Craig, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes while everyone else says goodbye. You can try and say goodbye in Hebrew. You can find that one. Jur, goodbye.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone. Take care and hope you have a good week.
He didn't say goodbye.
I got the gist of it.
Guess not. Billy, say goodbye.
So thank you everybody for listening, and goodbye.
Man of many words. Matt,
Yeah,
you've not
thank
been
you
here for a while.
everyone
Are
who's-
you going to come back next week?
Yeah, people have supported me throughout my hiatus on the podcast,
Your hiatus.
and I'm going to be back top of the predictions ladder by this time next month. I promise it.
Boo! Did you hear something?
So
No, I
goodbye.
didn't hear something. Well, Craig, you've had time.
I couldn't.
You practiced.
I couldn't find it in Hebrew. There was no voice in the Google Translate, so I couldn't work out how to. I don't. As far as I don't read Hebrew, so I've compromised with some Korean. So, Anyong,
Basically the same thing, isn't it?
pretty much Hebrew, Korean. Tell me the difference.
Similar.
Well, a quick Google has told me that shalom can mean goodbye as well. So
There you go.
there you go. Yeah, we'll be back next week, and hopefully we can talk about Celtic winning. Please win 2 games, Celtic. Shalom, good night, and God bless everyone.